Okay. Well, I decided that I just to put this recording, even though this is might be putting my life situation at risk at doing this, but I'm gonna do this anyway. What's happening in the care world right now? Carers are panicking, and now they are in a difficult spot, particularly those who are on poor management. What I'm saying is that I was just is that people are forced to do extremes that are jeopardizing those who they're caring for, are forced to remain in a job because they are elderly or sick, have physical health issues, diabetes, their diabetes and other hidden health issues that put them risk in the virus. Now, whether the virus is real, people are not 100% sure, so they are putting very difficulties. At the moment, I'm not in 100% lockdown, but tomorrow it seems like it's going to be even more lockdown. People are like the media in worldwide is not talking about what happens to people who are disabled. They're not. They're not looking saying what happens to people who are permanently living in hospitals or in detention centers, those who are living in prisons, or those who are nobody's mentioning these things. If they did, they would be exactly the thing. At the moment, it is a very hard living situation for myself. I cannot share you things because legally, one, I can't tell you the people here. I can say by no name by none names, but even then, that could be put against me. So, but I feel pushed that there's very few people like myself who will voice what's going on to people to be inspired that one, they're not alone. Secondly, that this is that people to be aware about what happens to people who live in care homes, particularly when it's times of crisis. And at the moment in the UK, it's a real crisis, and there is certain things that is very difficult. I'm glad that I made the most of having a run today because that's going to be my last time I might be able to go outside. Now, I'm grateful at the moment that I can go to go to the shop, but I only can do locally. Unfortunately, where I live, it's not possible. It's overcrowded, overpopulated with people, with too many houses, but not enough large superstores for food. And so all you got is little corner shops. And unfortunately, the Oxfordshire Council, where I live, of the Green Party and Conservatives announced earlier this week that they're not going to build any more properties. And if you think they would wake up that the fact there's not enough food for other people, there's not enough places, more houses are building. Where I am, most people, the prices have gone up on places to live. So this is not so things like, for example, it was very terrible when it was snowed in. The several years I've been here, but the 3 or 4 years of being snowed in, and I'm telling you, it's not guaranteed to get anything. People complain anyway when they go to Tesco's or or go to the Little Astor, the new part of Oxfordshire County that I'm in. There is no anything, so it's very bad, very poor circumstances. You know, if I was in the rich part of Oxfordshire, it'd be not so bad maybe, but even then, you know, so I'm living in the wrong part of Oxfordshire, unfortunately. If I was living in the city part, it would be not so bad. But fortunately, you know, everybody's, it's for themselves. So it's stuff anyway. People, if you are feeling like sad about life, think about being quarantined, being locked in a care facility, or in a detention center, or in everything, because you don't freely can do whatever you want, not even in your own room most of the time, you know, and stuff. You know, it's, you know, for me this is not much difference. Now, you know, my freedom was being outside. Now it's going to be stuck inside. Or I can say that my life is similarly described as people who was living in a concentration camp. All in a, you know, as I said, I describe myself, I'm a citizen in this country living like a refugee. That's what, because you see, people, once they live in care homes or care cities, they don't have the right or to freely enjoy life and anything. Not like go downstairs, they get what they want to eat, what time and anything, you know, setting everything. So when things are balanced like this, members of staff are out of balance, and it comes and it affects people like me, and it's a terrible situation. Now I know everybody's, now I expect people who come in Ken Street who needs to be loved and everything, but I'm telling you, there is also the bad things too. Unfortunately, I hope one day that people, if YouTube allowed me to keep this on, I hope one day that people look at this videos and my videos and say, wow, things have to change with people like Charity. I pray for every God, every day, that my life will be valued one day. My life will matter. Unfortunately, my life doesn't matter in this world. Unfortunately. I can't even say what bad things happens in my life, because my life is not valued. Social services don't care a damn about me. The care manager didn't even allow me to even have a housing register because they just couldn't be bothered. But basically, I don't have a right to get a place to live. I can't legally choose to live. I can't legally care for. I can't even legally, when this came down, I can't even legally. I had parents who's so ignorant about this care system, and I come from a religious community who looks up for governance and leaders to look after them. Of course, there's nothing wrong with my parents' religion, but it's their mindset, unfortunately, and the religious community I come from. They don't care what happens to people like me. They are defended by their own lawsuits and their legal actions. And they don't understand that the community, religious community I come from, they're legally eager to back up things when it's the thing, and they don't understand that the things happen to to people at church, legal things. They haven't learned anything. You know, this is Cold War zone for people like me. People just don't want to wake up. The way they've been, people, first elderly and disabled people are treated badly, and then people of race, and then afterwards is everybody else who don't oppose and live and stuff. But people don't listen. You know, people like people like Madonna has said, you know, there's only certain people amount live and everything. Okay, you can say that's conspiracies, but that's not true. That is a fact. People should listen and learn from history of what happens with every part. You know, you know, I live in my worst nightmare. But basically, I'm stuck in the middle of living in in a care home where have people who are insecure about their situations in life, and what happens to them affects me, which life is really bad, unfortunately, you know, and the securities and 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 even care management, and you know, it throws out the window. You know, even the best people who are in care are putting pressure and everything. You know, now my life is inside. It's living me more restricted. I'm not talking about the world outside. I was talking about inside, living a thing. For people, you can complain and stuff if you quarantine in your house. That's fine. At least you can really do anything you need. You know, you don't have to worry about cleaning your clothes, or put a rack in your put a rack to dry your clothes and stuff. You know, or you know, you can exercise in your lounge room. You know, for me, I'm going to be mostly stuck in my room most of the time. You know, or where you freely can shop in your local area. You know, I have so many fears. I'm no different than the times of people who in history in who who um who tried to appeal their families and didn't listen. You know, living in extreme exile. There's no words I can say. All I can say is that I'm praying to God will end very quickly, because I can't bear to live another second. You know, fortunately, people, as the government, the UK's so-called government, is estimating this is going to be happening. This pandemic is happening, be up to 6 months. I can't deal with 6 months. I'm praying to God that this will end until the end of April, quickly, as soon as possible, because 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 and I've been moved somewhere else where I have more freedom, more life. You know, I'm a young person, and you know, I have people who are a lot older than me, and you know, and it's hard to live with people who are so blind that they don't want to see how fault society is. Until it happens to them, then they start wondering, answering the person who doesn't have much freedom. You know, I don't know it's stuff anyway. At least I'm glad I don't live in Sweden, huh? Where they where the, where they legally euthanize people. You know, certain part of the world they euthanize people like me and stuff, but you know, England is a very dishonest world. Anyway, I'm sorry if I'm not positive or anything. I want to be positive. The only thing I'm find positive is that God is giving me to use this, even though to give people information what's going on. Unfortunately, as I said, I don't have. I'm limited of what to say. My voice is scrambled. Everything, you know. You know. I wish someone could just legally get me out. But, you know, the law in England is so strangleless. It's a hang. People like me are hanged every day, psychologically hanged every day. That there's no loophole. The only loophole is being hanged. Is hanging oneself. You know, and hope you don't make it. You know, you know, people who overcome disabilities has no remorse over people who are stuck in the care system or in the world. I think even elderly community who are disabled don't understand in that things has gone worse. It may appear better, but things has gone worse. You know, you know, you know, I just, you know, there's days where I just wish I didn't exist, and this is in, you know, I had so much torture my whole life, where I made my life did not matter. No matter how much I tried to make positiveness in my world. You know, how much I've been choked and restrained. But, you know, I'm grateful that God is giving me gifts and know that I have purpose, despite the fact I'm let down by everyone I know in my whole life, who are blinded by the world, blinded by society's lies. I feel sorry for my brother. Unfortunately, it's harder for him. You know, he's more disabled. You know, I have a dream that that one day, that if God's willing, I pray every day, God's willing, that I be like Harriet Tubman, that I be able to set a place for people like my brother and myself, where society doesn't care about, that we have a life of freedom and liberation. And we won't rely on the government, we'll be relying on ourselves, making money and think a place where we can stay in herself, because the government relying on the system, it's gonna get worse, unfortunately, in more quicker than we think. You know, but you know, and stuff. You know, I just hope I be Harris Tugsman. You know, you know, able to that God will open the way that once I'm able to be free, I'll be able to free other people. Because there are many people who are called, but many few chosen. There are many, but few are chosen, and the few chosen people's spirits are the ones who always listen to God. No matter how much imperfect they are, they still listen to God. Even despite they may have the wrong path and the wrong ways. For me, it seems that that's my life journey. I have made wrong choices because I was damaged and hurt by society. But one day, I'll be a leader in freeing people out. You know, you know, basically, I'm just hoping, once this situation's over, that I'd be let go. I wouldn't have to live here anymore, live in the care system anymore. You know, unfortunately, I can't petition my own life. The only thing I can petition is to God. There's someone who has the means, got the key in my life to free me out. Because as I said, with England, you cannot petition your own rights. Once you are locked by the care system, you have nothing. You cannot defend yourself. England is a place of being defenseless. Anyway, I'm sorry if I repeat my previous videos, but this is what's going on. I'm grateful that God has been very merciful at the moment. I had to and I said everything's gone even more restrained now in a group home that I live in, and there's nothing I can do about it. The only thing I can do is keeping going and asking God, and when God gives me the courage and the voice to send these videos, I'd send these videos to petition my situation, petition others who are forced to keep silent. But I said because my enemies are watching, I can't legally say specifically what's going on. I can't, even though if I didn't say location, name, anything. All I can say it's in Oxfordshire. And anyway, all the care systems are all bad. Unless you live unless you have a family who spend a very nice place where people are encouraged to live in a very positive thing. Unfortunately, as I said, it's up to people like me. God's giving me dreams that someday to have this passion, that I wouldn't be one of the many percentage that have the opportunity to overcome it and didn't build anybody up or set other people free. And I hope I'm not going to be one of them, because I have so much adversity for my life, so much flames, so much fire, as my previous song that I shared to you, that I composed. Walking fire and water. That's how I gone through. My birth element is water and fire. Really, really not. If you look on birth dates of the elements, but it seems like that that that's the intensity that I go through walking on water and fire, which basically means I'm purifying through intensity of adversity. Adversity is purifying me. There's another opportunity to put it that way of what's really important, the ins and out. Anyway, but and this is my time off now, so see you soon, and let's hope and pray that this will be over soon for me. But until then, I'm grateful that that I can get some stuff in the supermarket, fresh fruit and vegetables. Look at this. Protein powder, coconut milk. And I think, through, before it was 10 o'clock, I didn't manage to get my hot meal and everything, but I'm glad there is some goodness. But as I said, I hope this situation ends very quickly for people like me, because this is hell on fire. Hell. Anyway, bye.